Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood to the classroom on a budget. As throughout this week, we're getting you out of the back-to-school days and hyping you up over the back-to-school season ahead. One of the most crucial parts of orientation for new kids and returning kids is receiving a copy of the School Student Handbook. That outlines all the classes and teachers and after-school clubs and rules and regulations that all students must follow in order to maintain their status at the school they choose to attend. To my knowledge, there's never been a what we'll call sexy student handbook. I mean, the mere notion of that sounds outlandish. But I recently came across a student handbook that might just fit into that category. Until Pretty Little Liars comes up with something like this, but they haven't yet. So in its place will be the CW teen drama, which in its freshman year defeated the Grand Dame, Pretty Little Liars, in its graduation year, its final season, as Choice TV Drama at the Teen Choice Awards, which has since been discontinued. I never forgave them for that, but around here, all it takes is an open mind and a horny heart, if you're of age. That I gotta emphasize. So onward with the Riverdale Student Handbook, what you really need to know about Riverdale's top Bulldogs and beyond. The scholastic publication featuring scribbled running commentary that can't be attributed to one particular source, staff or students, on the ulterior motives of both factions, was originally written by Jen Simon, published by Scholastic, and picked up for 25% off $2.99 from 2nd Avenue Thrift Superstore up in Union, retailing at $9.99 in the US and $12.99 in Canada. Welcome to Riverdale High School. In this student handbook, you'll find everything you need to strive, or survive at least, at Riverdale. Meet your incredible teachers and fellow classmates, aka SEEP, discover our history, and read about all the offered extracurricular activities. So extra. Be sure to study the policies and regulations which exist to keep you safe. The provisions of this handbook are meant to exist as a contract between the school and the student body. You will be responsible for knowing and understanding this handbook's contents. Good thing you got us. Well, you mean Jen, who originally wrote this, so maybe she's responsible for all the running commentary that's scribbled throughout this entire book. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get ourselves acclimated to our fellow students. As we become accustomed to life at RHS, we look to their current students for models of exemplary bulldog behavior. Yeah, exemplary bulldog behavior for future juvenile delinquents. A good bunch of them at least, because they all have something to hide. Archibald Andrews, aka Archie. Sarah Blossom, the HBIC, the head babe in charge to be somewhat politically correct with you. Elizabeth Betty Cooper. Forsyth Pendleton Jones III, a.k.a. Jughead Jones, Kevin Keller, a.k.a. Boring, Veronica Lodge, a.k.a. The New Girl, and I'd say, next to Betty Cooper, the hottest girl in school. And finally, Josie McCoy, the leader of Riverdale High School's de facto in-house band, Josie and the Pussycats, who wrote My Girl. And you see that X marked on Jason Blossom's face? He was one of Riverdale's top students who befell a horrible fate. He was murdered. And everyone in that school, and I mean everyone, is a suspect. Of course, there are plenty of other suspects beyond Riverdale, but really that's for you to dissect if you're a Riverdale fan. I'm not. But even with that, my brother and I often debate that if we were Riverdale students, one of us would get to score Veronica first. That's how much of a thing we have for Camila Mendez. She's quite a hottie. As is Lily Reinhardt, who is quite a Betty in her own right. Cole Sprouse, these two had a brief fling off camera as Sprouse hot, as you can guess, through the images of the cast of the CW's award-winning teen drama, which was quick to be put on a pedestal, with stan accounts of the cast and characters being made in a heartbeat, yet somehow falling flat towards the end of its run. This is an official TV tie-in. And there are plenty of pictures beyond the chief Bulldogs when it comes to the students. However, while at the beginning of the book, this gives credit to Archie Comic Publications, which of course created the entire Archie Riverdale world in the first place, no credit is given to the fine people at Warner Brothers Entertainment, who brought Riverdale to television under the leadership of Roberto Aguirre Sacasa and his team of talented, and I use that word loosely for this show, talented writers. Anyway, continuing on with these Bulldogs, we'll move on to superlatives. Veronica Lodge, best dancer, or biggest daddy issues. Archie Andrews, most likely to lend a helping hand or make out with a teacher. Aria Montgomery vibes, anybody? Then again, there was a teacher at Riverdale High who had to resign for giving some private, personal, intimate lessons to students. She ain't no Ezra Fitz. Not by a long shot. Kevin Keller, most likely to date a bad boy. Betty Cooper, most likely to succeed at embracing the dark side. Moose Mason, the hardest worker, and the most surprising cheater. Reggie Mantle, best athlete, and most likely to call someone brah. Josie McCoy, best performer, most likely to ditch her bandmates, or play backup for a solo career in another band. Jughead Jones, most likely to join a biker gang. Well, you get the drift. Sarah Blossom, Queen Bee, most likely to burn it to the ground, literally. Yeah, exemplars at bulldog behavior towards future juvenile delinquency. So in short, this ain't your average student handbook. It also comes complete with a bittersweet touch by way of a portion of Sarah Blossom's memorial speech for her twin brother Jason, who, as I said earlier, befell a terrible fate, being murdered in a town he called home. With regards to this being just an average handbook, well, this goes into detail on the code of conduct and all the clubs and classes, athletics, the AV club, music, athletics, your wardrobe, the school store, guidance counseling, and even school lunch, which of course at the cafeteria is never up to snuff, which is why Pop's Chocolate Shop insists to serve its best, most loyal customers. So you get all those things going on in this handbook, and even go the extra mile and include advertisements for several fictional community vendors and associates that support Riverdale High, and its storied, if somewhat sketchy, history. As far as handwritten notes go, you even get sample song lyrics from Josie and the Pussycats, and beyond, plus additional notes on some of the more noteworthy teachers and students of Riverdale High School. So, given all the above, I gotta say, why not give it all 5 claps? I'm not into Riverdale, but this is definitely one sexy student handbook. Truthfully, there's a Riverdale in almost every state in the union, and hopefully they're not all like this Riverdale. But if you bring this student handbook to your Riverdale and to your Riverdale school, let's see if your popularity blossoms like Cheryl, or goes down in the dumps like Jason. And hopefully not the latter. If you ever watched Riverdale, you know how that worked out for him. Good luck, future Bulldogs. You're gonna need it. That's the Riverdale Student Handbook. Here's Thursday's class. Let kids just be kids, and let them flip their lids, regardless of if they have fairy godparents or not. I wouldn't expect anything less once they find this. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.